We have the mics on it?
Yep. Okay. If we could have somebody talk into one of the... Maria, could you talk into your mic, please? Just say test, test, test. Thank you. That's what I needed. Okay, we're good. We're live.
Okay.
You will run this. You guys will watch chat. If there is a chat that comes up, you will have the stream on your side. Watch the chat. You guys will tell me about chat, and I will then read it out loud for everybody.
That's her stream there.
But I gotta edit it because she didn't do it great.
Oh, I found it. Yeah, I can see it. Oh, dang, are you hooked up to those cameras too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah, I can see it good.
You see the picture from the camera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check editing right.
Give me 1 second.
I just saw you come
Yeah.
on the screen.
That's
I
what
saw
we're
you on
looking
the
at.
screen.
Damn. A little bit. Up, down. Where when it's centered?
I think right there is fine.
Okay.
Please help yourself. We will be
All
starting.
right. You getting room audio?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Speakers are welcome to go grab.
I don't know if we are or not. I'm not sure if
Wait
we
a
are
few
or
minutes. You're still getting set up right
not.
now. I jumped the gun.
Stream health good?
I mean, it's looking amazing over here.
Okay.
What I'm worried about is the audio.
No, we tested. Check, check, check. Check, check, check.
We're getting desktop audio. It's not the microphones.
So then go into your settings over here.
It's one way for breaks.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's because she's like spoken to me
Yeah.
a lot.
Okay.
If they don't have sound, then we'll worry about it. But even if we have desktop sound, it's getting something.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound.
So, all right.
Aha.
Canceling that forward.
That's what. Okay.
Okay.
Bingo. There it is.
Melody. Output. Where's your input? Okay. So it looks like that should be what your input sound.
Go help yourself to some pizza.
Put a control V.
Help yourself.
Go into my settings. My sound settings.
Thank you for being here.
Sound.
Output, input. Here? Yeah.
Yep.
And then we're ready to out.
Output shouldn't really matter.
Should?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
What's up?
Hey.
Extra credit for this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You gotta stay for the whole thing though.
Yeah, I got you.
Get some pizza. Get some
Right.
pizza.
I think we're good.
Just Mike.
I'm gonna get a cookie.
Oh.
Last check. The last check. Are we good?
Yeah. Good.
I think we're
I think
good.
it did.
Okay. Sam, if you could bring the headphones.
Oh my gosh. Oh, is it already connected to something?
No, it's wired just long as hell.
Okay, I'll just It's nice in my port. That's not gonna make it. Dude, my PC is so weird. It doesn't have like one of these and these on the same side.
Oh, what?
Yeah, look. No, it does not jack at all.
That's stupid.
Oh no. What does you want me to do with the headset anyways?
Just check the audio.
Oh,
Make sure it's
turn it
coming.
up.
Make sure it's coming through.
Shit.
You ready?
Yep. Just pulling it up on my phone too.
Okay.
Get max views.
Yeah, and it was big.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm trying to do anything.
We really appreciate it.
All right.
I think we're good.
Yeah. And okay. Easy. I'm gonna grab a cookie. Do you want anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna get pizza. I think that's the bridge camera. We're going to go. I think that's it. Nope.
That's
Mm-mm.
that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that cookie was good.
It's a very popular. We always have to get at the time, just because online about it.
How are we doing on the stream?
If you are online, please make sure that you say hello in the chat with your name so your teachers know who you are. Because we do have some online presence, and so we will have them interact, and we want to make sure that everybody is present.
So I think that,
If you haven't helped yourself to the pizza drinks, please do so.
If you potentially, so I believe later because I picked up work, if you catch Katsuya here, no, she's the RA for the East Storm. She might have left, I don't know.
Okay. Just give me a description of that.
If you tell Joe who Katsuya is, she'll understand. Literally just ask her any question. She's also the one who set up this event. So I've given the thing for you and Hector to do.
everybody's a spot.
If you need mics after I leave, I will leave these in the new student production room. He left. This is my spot now.
Shall we get started?
That's it.
Welcome. I'm so glad to see all of you here, and welcome to our students and people who are online. I'm Linda Ludwig. I teach the computer classes here, and I'm the moderator for today. The kind of the layout is I'm going to be letting our guest speakers introduce themselves, and then once they're done introducing themselves, I encourage you to ask questions. Joe and I will be floating around with the microphone. So wait to ask your question until you get the microphone, because that way it keeps everyone who, I have hearing aids, so everyone who might have hearing difficulty can hear your question, and all our online students can get the question. So with that, you want to add anything?
Yes, excuse me, I'm a loudspeaker by nature. Those that are online, if you have questions, please feel free to put it in the chat. We do have moderators who will be moderating our chat and making sure that your questions get asked.
So do I have a volunteer who would like to go first for introductions? Thank you.
Hi.
Are all the lapel lights on?
I think so. You hear me? Okay. Hi, I'm Melissa Fonseca. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. And thank you so much for the invitation to the panel. Yeah, so I'm currently a real estate broker. I've been a realtor for about 7 years now. And before that, I was a student. I graduated from UNI, got my bachelor's, and I did go to MHS, so I'm a proud Bobcat as well. I am also an elected official here in Marshalltown. I got elected to the city council in 2024, so I've been involved in city government. But before that, I've been involved heavily in the community volunteering and involved in many projects. So I'm very proud of my town, and I think that leadership, the more we are leaders in our community, that's how we show how much we are proud of our town and our love for our town.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Beagle. I work for YSS with the Impact Program. So I'm a social worker that is housed in the police department. I respond to calls that are not criminal, anything that maybe law enforcement shouldn't have a hand in. So mental health, homelessness is not a crime, so we handle calls like that as well. I started out working for LSI in a residential facility for young children who maybe couldn't live in their home anymore. After that, I went and worked at the Marshall County Sheriff's Office as a correctional officer. While working there, I realized mental health was something that maybe was being pushed under the rug. So I was like, how can I help instead? Ended up working at Cersei. I was a case manager there, helped individuals with intellectual disabilities stay independent and living on their own. From there, I met my counterpart, who's actually here with me, and she told me, hey, we're hiring. I applied, and now here I am. So it all worked out, that butterfly effect. I have a degree in criminal justice. I have my associates in criminal justice. So getting to see law enforcement side on top of the social work side is wonderful. I am born and raised in Marshalltown, graduated from East Marshall in 2017, but have always, been in the area, known what goes on. I know a lot of people on this board that I've seen, just being in the community. So thank you for having me. I'm excited to answer some of your questions today.
Thank you, Tiffany.
I'm Super Well. I'm the Marshall County Public Health Director. I went to Marshalltown right where I was well. I graduated from Marshall High School in 2016. Went on to SCC here. I got my associates, and then went to Iowa State, got my bachelor's of science in biology, and then went on to get my master's of science in biological sciences. I started my career at Marshall County Public Health just over 2 years ago. So I also have involvement in local government. Involved in our volunteer organizations here in Marshalltown. Outside of that expertise is local studios in my fun job. I worked at a veterans home as well as I'm honored to be here today.
Thank you, Sydney. Maria?
Hello, my name is Maria Gonzalez. I'm not going to tell you when I graduated because I'm going to tell you mine. But I did go to Marshalltown High School and then came to Marshalltown Community College and was studying liberal arts because I really didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And right after I got married, and I've been married for 15 years. We have a little girl, not so little, a teenage girl, and an 11-year-old boy. The 3 dogs that are mine really fun. But besides that, I also work for an organization called Iowa Migrant Movement for Justice. We provide legal assistance for immigrants and refugees throughout the state of Iowa. And part of my job is to travel the state, and I have one-on-one consultations with people and figure out what they're interested in within their communities. What are some social problems that perhaps they're facing, and how do we get them involved in making changes within their own community? So how do we provide leadership opportunities, civic engagement, education, and we are heavily involved as well in the Iowa legislative sessions. So we keep track of bills and making sure that our reps are doing their jobs to represent everybody within the state of Iowa, even those that are not always the most likely to show up and voice their own needs and concerns. Besides my work, I am also a co-organizer here in Marshalltown with Immigrant Allies. We are a organization that focuses on resources for immigrants and refugees, and that's anywhere from immigration to education or labor. Basically, how do we build a bridge within the community? I was the co-chair for last year's United Way campaign, which I am very proud of as well, because it also provides funding for organizations within our community. And I volunteer at the school and in church with my kids. And I also work at the line. That is my free time, and I really get to enjoy people in the community. I have been in Marshalltown all my life since I was 5 years old, and I am a proud Iowan, and I have to say that I'm as rooted as the corn here in Iowa. I convinced Houston Texans to move to Marshalltown, Iowa, so I think that says a lot about how persuasive I can be here. But I really love my community. I love serving my community. I love building relationships and those bridges within our community. Like Melissa said, I believe that the more that you give back to our town, to our communities, the more love and appreciation that grows, not just for us, but for future generations.
Thank you, Maria. Maria?
Hello, good afternoon, or good afternoon. My name is Maria Acosta, I am the other Maria from Iowa MMJ. And I am a community organizer as well. And my prior job was I was an advocate for victims and survivors of domestic violence, sexual abuse, and human trafficking for 40 years. And what else? I have a bachelor's degree in public accounting, but in my country. So I studied in the Paso Community College as well. I am from the Paso Community College. I live over there for 17 years. Now I'm doing for 20. And I got a degree from the Paso Community College, and then I got another master's degree in theology. So I don't know what more I need to say. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm not going to talk as I used to because it's in English, and bear with me, okay? But in Spanish, I can talk. I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you, Maria.
Among those people, among you that are really very, very intelligent people, because you are in college.
So, we'll start with, are there any questions that you have already? Yes, wait till I get there. I have a question for Tiffany. So I remember last year at the women's panel, there was another speaker from the Impact Program, and I was just wondering, I have a couple questions, but the first one is, what would you say like a typical like day in the life of your job would look like?
I love this question. It's so different. In the summertime, we could be wall to wall with calls because parents have had enough of their kids being home. In the winter, we could have nothing going on, and then we get one call for a homeless individual. Every day is something new. I can promise you that I have not seen the same thing twice. So it's hard to say what a normal day looks like because there is no such thing as a normal day in my field. Just like if you were to ask a police officer, what's a normal day look like? They're gonna say, is there a full moon? I mean, I don't know, so that it's a hard question. It's a good question, but it's such a hard one to answer because every day is so different.
Right, and then my second question would be, do you guys have any like internships or like job training, like volunteer opportunities and like what those would kind of entail?
Oh my gosh, yes, we do. We do. Okay, so, what? Yeah, so, through YSS, there's internships for all of the programs, all of them. So you would have to just specifically say, hey, I'm interested in this specific program, and then David Hicks is wonderful. He will get you all set up, and I can give you his email information after this. And then we also are hiring a third advocate right now. So there's 2 of us to run the entirety of Marshalltown. So we're hiring a third to run in the county as well. So if anybody is interested, all we ask is for an associate's degree and something to do with this field, whether that be mental health or, human services, psychology, something, within those fields. So yeah, definitely reach out. We'll get in touch.
Thank you.
Other questions?
I have a question. How do you pronounce your first name again?
Melissa?
Oh, not that, Melissa. What made you get into real estate?
Yeah, so I actually have a bachelor's degree in real estate and financial management. So I went into UNI, declaring accounting as a major because I had taken 2 years at MHS and I liked it. And but ultimately, I got to my junior year at UNI and I took more classes in finance and with having a financial management degree, you can double major in real estate and kind of double dip and get those 2 majors. So I thought, okay, real estate got introduced into my life and we had, all the courses, appraisals, real estate law, and I just got very interested in it. I guess as I got through my college years, I was starting to get to learn like what topics am I really into, and so that opened the door, getting my degree in real estate for sure. And so yeah, and it's a broad industry. So there's lending, there's the sales part, there's an investor in flipping, owning a portfolio of rentals. Like there's just so many, right? And I ended up getting a job as a transaction coordinator for a team, and that opened the door to me to see what it is like shadowing realtors and seeing their day-to-day life and what impact and what freedoms came with a career and what responsibilities as well. And so I think when I was growing, I realized how deep of a career it really is, because we're helping families that are coming into Marshalltown, and especially with the component of being the first bilingual brokerage to open. I just opened it in 2024, and so that it just had been just a lot of things, and it took time for me to get there. Really, how I got here.
We have a question online for all of you.
So you can either start with Melissa or we can start with Maria down here and just go down the line. But they would like to know, is there a specific woman or specific women in your life or a piece of advice from a woman that sticks out to you that has helped you along the way? Go for it. Go for it, Maria. We'll take you first.
Okay, you say a specific woman that,
Either a specific woman or a piece of advice or a saying from a woman. Was there anybody specific that really inspires you or helps you to get to where you are today?
yeah, well, my grandmother was more than my mother, because I love her a lot. And she she taught me how to read, write, math, because when I was a kid, I had not the opportunity to go to school because we were very poor, so I was like 9 or 10 years old and still not going to school. So I had to learn, and she taught me everything. Well, the basic things of when I went to school, I didn't do the first, second, and third grade. I went to the 5th grade directly because of her. So I miss her a lot, and she's one of my parents for me.
For me, it would have to be my mom. My mom, when we arrived to this country, it was her and my brother and myself. And so she came to this country not knowing a word of English. She came from a family that was very poor and that they were farmers. So when we got here, she started working right away. She put in the work to be able to find somewhere for us to live, to provide for us, to give us a education. And I remember in things, and even now, there's times that I'm like, I can't do this anymore, or I don't want to do this anymore. And I will go over to her house, and she will tell me, I walked 5 days through the desert for you, and you can't give up. And she always reminds me of that, that she worked so hard to give us opportunities, and never let my fears stop me. And so I am very grateful for that, and I hope that I'm able to give that, maybe not as harsh of a lesson, but also teach my children that, putting in the hard work, the dedication, really opens doors for new opportunities.
I would also say both my mom and my grandmother are strong to always grant their goals, but only for how we getting that so many women mentors throughout my career growing up, strong women who own their own businesses, like Melissa, for instance, there's so many in Marshalltown who own their own small businesses, who run large corporations, you don't have to organize a movement, that you don't have to be to be in charge. And just anything that for young women and be the person that you want to be, no matter 5 years old that you are. So I take something from every job that I've been in, and every woman and every person that I've encountered, because you can learn something you may not think. Stopping shelves that Ivy will teach you how to do something in your career, but it usually comes back when it comes to help you. So multiple women, strong, and not afraid to face adversity.
I would have to agree. I have a lot of strong women in my life, a lot, very opinionated women. And so I learned to unapologetically be me. You're gonna get what you get. And I think that a lot of us women are taught to kind of be quiet. It's easier to be seen and not heard. That's not true. Be seen and heard. If you have something to say it. Yeah, so that would be my advice is, if you have something to say it.
For the most important woman in my life would be my mother as well. And a lot of us have up here. And I think that also having had two older sisters really helped me a lot. I think they really paved the way for me. And I thank them every day, honestly. My sisters were the best. Those are my favorite women in my life, my mom and my sisters.
Okay, we're gonna do another online question, and this time we're gonna start with Melissa and go to Maria. What challenges have you faced being in this world, being a woman, being a leader? What are the challenges that you face?
Yeah, I would like to start with challenges I faced as a college student because that's where we're at here. We're at a college. I think it was a really good time. College is a really good time. There were so many things out there that I wish I would have just gone to, or in high school I was very extroverted, but then when I got to college, I was turned to an introvert. So it was very hard for me to get out and meet new people. But the challenges that I faced was just that kind of making space for myself in different rooms, especially, and now looking back, I was like, wow, I was like the only one that looked like me in that space, and I didn't realize, like, I guess I was protected by innocence as being a college kid, being young, and so then I graduated college, and I said, okay, so I'm going to be in Marshalltown, and I'm going to apply and get myself a really good job. I have my degree, I have all these things on my resume, and I get back, and unfortunately I got interviews, but I never got hired at any of the positions that I applied. And I think, I don't know why, I don't know, did I not know certain people, did I not have enough references? I had the education, I had the volunteer experience, I think I had all the components that make a good worker. But in the field that I was trying to get into, there's not maybe a lot of women that look like me. And if there was, they have had to many years to get there. And so that was a challenge for sure, is getting this rude awakening of, yeah, sorry, you have your degree, but you might not get hired where you want to get hired. And so then that honestly was a blessing in disguise, because then I ended up finding a new career, a new passion. And sometimes the doors close in certain places, but we cannot get discouraged. And so then that was fine. And now looking back, I am very thankful for those doors closing on me, honestly. I'm good. And so so the things that could have challenged me a little bit more, the things that were challenges for me, I don't know. I just did the best that I could with what I had and what I have learned. And yeah, so just the best.
I would say, talking about just this job specifically, the difficulties and challenges we face. I don't know if most of you know or not, we do not have a homeless shelter here in Marshalltown. And we deal with a very high population of homeless or unhoused individuals. So kind of working through that, that's a difficult one. Nearest shelter would be Des Moines or Ames, and you have to hope that there's a bed available. Sometimes going into situations, I am a woman, and I know sometimes men don't want to be told what they need from a woman. So sometimes if I walk into a domestic situation, or maybe even just a mental health situation, just because I look the way I look, I'm not going to be taken seriously. So sometimes I have to have an officer with me just to be like, no, hey, what she's saying, She's not just talking. She wants you to get the help that you need. She's not trying to, you know, be like your spouse was or, you know, something like that. So in this field, we do deal with a lot of men who are struggling, and maybe a woman is part of their downfall. And so I'm already walking in with one foot out the door. So I try to remind people like, hey, I'm here for you. I got to remind myself not to take things personal. Nothing's a personal attack on me when someone's in a crisis. And I do take offense to things, so that's been something that has been very difficult for me, that like, hey, it's not a me thing, this is something they're working through, and I'm going to be there to support them. So I would say those are some of the challenges that I face in my job currently.
Echo what Cindy said is, you know, we're about the same age as we're young and we're in our field, and we're also rooted because of how we live and teach, that we are looked down as we're not qualified for the jobs that we were doing. There's, in the city market, there's some people that have been doing my job longer than that. I may joke about it, and it's funny, but it's fine. That doesn't make me any less qualified to do the job. There's things that happened here recently in Marshall County that have not happened in neighborhoods. We were learning along with everybody else. My counterparts and other counties were shocked at how things went, and I would talk through that. And Tiffany said you're something around starting to knock it off the door when you meet with people, especially with just their preconceived ideas, and being a young person, you feel you have to almost stand up for yourself when you replace somebody that hasn't, because the entire tenure. You almost have to say, I'm my own person, I'm not that person, I'm going to bring different tribes to the table, and I'm a one person department in taking care of accountable people. So I have to do many things in my days in the city. Just every day sometimes is a challenge, and some days are worse than others, but it's Tuesday,
Well, like you mentioned, I got married when I was about 19, so fresh out of college. And not too long after, I got pregnant with my first child. And so even for 2 broke college students with a baby, and I had to decide, we had to decide, what was the best option, and at that point, it was me to take care of our daughter. But as I, was growing up with her, it was like, I don't just want to be a stay-at-home mom, which, I loved my baby, but then at the same time feeling the guilt that I had to leave her behind. And so I started finding work as a childcare provider at the YMCA. And they let me keep my daughter with me. And so while I worked, she got to play with other kids. And then I started going into the early head start, and then they would allow me to bring my child with me. And then Buddy goes on, and she was a big surprise. And so then I had 2 children that had to carry along, but I was very lucky that the jobs that I had gave me an opportunity to bring my children with me. So I was still being a mom, while still being able to provide for them, and being in the workforce. As they grew up and went to school, I thought about going back to get my bachelor's degree, but it never really happened. What did happen was that I had the opportunity to volunteer with different organizations. And thanks to the volunteer work and relationships that I was able to build, that opened doors for me. Through those relationships, through learning to a lot of these nonprofit organizations, I started building trust with people, and people started seeing, that even though I don't have a bachelor's degree, I'm able to do the work and my dedication for the community. And even now, in the work that I do, I'm still with mom. Our job is never the same. We travel throughout the state, we travel throughout the nation. There's days that are super long that we are at the city house all day long, and I still have to come home and check math. And I still have to take them to violin lessons or rehearsals or my hashi or volleyball or whatever the day brings. But they get it, they understand it, they see that, I'm still a mom. But mom also has other responsibilities. And a lot of the time, the children now volunteer with me. So when you see me doing things out in the community, they usually come along. They still roll their eyes at me, but they just do it because of the teenage years. They like it, keep on as I do. That was my biggest challenge. How do I continue with my career while still being a good mom and sometimes a good spouse? I'm English learner, so I have to use but that's the challenges that I think keep me all strong still.
Oh my gosh, it depends on what stage of my life, because I'm gonna be 65, so I have history. Well, when I was a kid, my big challenges was to survive because I had a very, very difficult childhood. And then when I started my first career in Mexico, another challenge is, how to pay. And I had to work to pay my career. And then when I came to the United States, another challenge, because I crossed the river, so it was very, you need to be very careful not to be that for nice, right? So that's a challenge. So when I came here, another challenge because I didn't speak English, I don't have documents, so I started working in a house taking care of an elderly woman. So when my mom found out that I was in a house, oh my gosh, she's calling. She said, "How you can work in a house? You have an accountant degree or public accounting degree." Okay. I don't speak English. I have no documents. I need to work. And then when I finally got my papers, and I started going to community college, trying to learn English. So another challenge because I got pregnant with my fifth kid. So sometimes I didn't find someone to take care of my kid, because I have classes in the morning, classes in the afternoon, so my gosh, a lot of classes. So, but finally I got married in 98, my first associate here in the US. And then another challenge with my other school, online, because I tried to finish my master online. It was in Spanish, obviously, but technology, oh my gosh, it was very difficult for me, still it's very difficult. I didn't grow up with technology. So my life is full of challenges. Still, I still have challenges. I know, like with Maria earlier, Maria, I don't know what I might do here, because, I don't know why, but I live here for 30-something years and still I struggle. So do you know any instructor? Please, I'm kidding. But yes, the life is full of challenge, right? It's full of challenge, but it's part of the life. It's part of the life. So you don't be scared, okay? It's part of the life.
Tenemos una preguntas en español para María y María y Melissa.
La pregunta pregunta es la siguiente. Si tuvieran que escoger en qué momento de su vida marcó un antes y un después para su carrera y ya la posición en la que están ahorita, y si sufrieron o tuvieron complicaciones o problemas por el hecho de ser latino, latina o venir de descendencia latina. Gracias.
Next slide, please.
I'm not hearing that. He's not ready to tell it.
He's gonna try, but he's a little embarrassed too.
Okay, so the question was, and it was specifically directed at Maria, and Melissa, but I think Tiffany and Sydney are welcome to answer, I think the first part. So, he asked, is there a time in your life that marks a before and after, like a big moment? And then, for those of you who are Latino or Hispanic descent, how has that affected yourself and your career and your life up to this point, I think?
Anyone want to start to answer it?
Doesn't matter, it's an English
As long as we can get translation.
For me, I think, throughout high school, I was a best student. I didn't want to be in school, and that's because I was lucky. In high school, when you live in home area, you know, let's graduate, when we go to college, you're gonna have all of these trainings, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, no. Once I graduate, I'm gonna end up working at a factory. Like, that's what my life is next. And that's what I would tell myself. And then in 2006, something really happened here in Marshalltown. My mom was detained. And I remember, you know, her being on the phone and her telling me that if she was going to get deported, that I had to keep fighting for myself, that I had to keep fighting for my siblings. She's like, set the example for them, be the example. And then when I sat there in that evening, I was like, okay, really, like, she's sacrificed so much for me to be an opportunity. And I'm sitting here being that, in Spanish they call it burro, a donkey. Just say it for a nice way, I mean, you're being nice. But I was sitting there and I'm like, I'm not going to class, I'm not showing up. And I remember one of my teachers would tell me, you are the smartest, stupidest person I know. And I'd be like, you don't know me. But when everything was happening with my mom, I went to the high school and I told my teacher, and I'm like, hey, I need help. I need to graduate. I don't know how to get there. And I don't know what I'm doing, but I need help. And she would show up from 6 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock p.m. And I was doing classes online, my homework classes. Like, I had maybe 40 PE classes my senior year just to catch up. But I graduated from my class. I graduated, and by the time that I graduated from my class, my mom was due for a residency, so she was able to get in this country. And after that, I told myself, I'm like, one, what do I do with all the other people like myself? And my mom's situation. And two, I don't want to be moving forward without my status of marriage and my life. And luckily, I'm married to somebody that's a U.S. citizen, but not for the status. It's love. But it really helps me push even further, and continue to work. And now as I sit and I see these people, these immigrants, refugees, and I sit with them and I have these conversations, I tell them the same thing, you know, yes, it's a difficult time, yes, it's a scary time, but we are here to help you, to support you. And especially as I sit and have conversations with my moms, it's what do you need, how do you help, how do you feel, what support you need in the community. And I think all of that really came from that moment. And it was a difficult time in my life, but I think it made the world in that end.
I can take questions. So the first part of your question was, where have we noticed a change in our career, right? Like, where's that bump? I would say for me, my career is happening as I'm growing, as I'm getting older, and I feel like for some people, it could be at a different point, earlier or later, and I can't say like this has been a bump. This is like sorry, I can say there has been a bump. There has been opportunities that I've taken, opportunities of leadership that I was like, I can do this. I know I can do this. I have the confidence. I think I need to learn along the way, or if I need to study, or if I need to do anything, but I'm going to do it and get to accomplish that goal. And the second part was for Latinos, how are we in the workplace, or just in general, or like kind of like in growing in the community, or how do you do that?
It is like for your experience.
Okay.
For your experience being Latino in the United States and in Marshalltown specifically, or in your field as well?
In your field, okay. Yeah, so I think that my great-grandmother was actually born in Colorado. My grandfather was born in California. I have a line of already being a U.S. citizen, which, you know, for some Latinos in the United States, there's that saying, they didn't cross the border crossed them. So there has been a lineage of already being rooted in this country, in this side of the world, and being American. And so that's something that I feel that is new, is being more adapted. And I think that with me being Latina and knowing that, I'm like, there has been in my opinion, I don't think that because of whoever was born somewhere in my lineage, I'm not American. No, the American dream is for everyone. Every single person, wherever they grew up, whoever their mom were, wherever the mom or dad was born, it doesn't matter. If we're here, we're getting educated, we're going to get into the workforce, we are valuable, we are taxpayers, we are people who contribute to the economy every single day, doesn't matter which job that we have. And if you aspire to be a doctor or whatever, engineer, realtor, professional, in the professional world, then you set your goals back. You go, I'm going to do this, okay, let me retrace my steps back and see what I need to do. Okay, I need to get this degree. Okay, I need to apply for scholarships. So I'm like, just moving on. So set your goal and then move backward.
Maria, did you want to answer it as well?
Yeah, yes, I think the after, or before and after, it was when I here, I was like 29. And I found out that my 4 years degree here was nothing. Nothing, so I need to do something else. So when I get my documents, I start, so I found out as well that numbers was not something that I like. No more numbers. Now I need to learn something that I can help people. So I started in Marshalltown Community College and studied psychology, an associate. So I need something else. So I started Bible school, and then I became, oh my gosh, I love this. So that's changed my mind a lot because now I love help people, assist people. I like human rights. Because I'm now having a legal studies don't be my people. So I love that. So I try to help everyone that comes to me. I try to that they feel comfortable with who they are. How they think. If they, I know every human being have a potential. So I love that to try to help them to find a role. I love that. So yes, so I was no more numbers, but now I am helping my pastor, with accountability. Accountability. Oh my God, no, please. This class is for church, so it's okay. No more numbers. Now it's more helping people with that emotional part. In fact, this year, 2026, I start something in TikTok talking about how to manage or to handle our emotions, because it's very important for me and I think for everybody. So, yeah.
We'll share Maria's TikTok at the end.
I'm going to start, okay? Because remember, the technology and we're not friends, but I'm still learning, at this age, I'm still learning. I am the learning process.
I see that we're like 10 minutes out, but I did have a question for one of the young women that had to go to class because she didn't want to be late for class. But she would like to know, what changes would you like to see for women in the next generation, the generation after you? What changes in like the industry and what changes would you like to see in them?
Well, I'll start. It would be cool. I mean, I love having a day like today, but it would be cool if we were just seen as equal and didn't have to have our own special day to get to talk to all of you about all the great things that we do. So if we could get to that point where maybe we just have a day to talk about your job, be both men and women, and we don't have to just have a special day where we get to talk.
Mm-hmm.
To be unapologetically yourself, like to be said earlier, and to not be so fearful of liking what you like, doing what you like, wearing what you like, and also to be willing to go to fall for certain things, wearing certain things. I always do that in our culture, and always blaming ourselves, like, it's my fault, I think that's what I need to do. I know growing up, it was always comparing myself to other women, things like that, and I want other women to show that we can do more, like lifting each other up and be supportive, all of us when we bring to the table, it's not to be accomplished.
I think for me, it is women having one choice over the body. Women having the representation, women being able to take up space. As someone that has a little teenage girl, I want her to be able to make choices on her life without having to ask a husband or a partner. And that means in the way that she wants to go or what she wants to do with her body. Being able to have a career in whatever she wants without first being labeled because she's a woman and second because she's Latina. So those are all the hopes that I have. But I also realize that it takes all of us to be able to make those changes. And they don't come easily as we see. But I do believe in a better future for us. It's just going to take all of us to get that work.
For me, I would like generation. I love like you are right now, okay, but you can continue studying, it will be great. And continue, you know, because we have no limits, right? We have no limits. I would like to women more in the politics because we need women, but we are very good, you know? I'm sorry, guys, but no. Yeah, more on the women involved in politics to change this, especially immigration. Immigration, because we need immigration changes, you know? We need to eradicate the discrimination. So please, women, study politics, study something related with politics, you know, and do it with your heart. Do it with your heart. Yes. Don't be afraid to start from the bottom and work your way up, you know, and work your way. Yes. So please, I would like that. Definitely.
I think that keeping how we would love to see, I would still love to see this International Women's Panel. It happened the 13th year of the International Women's Panel, the 14th year, the 20th year. This is an ongoing thing. I don't think there will be a time where it will stop, where women will stop advocating for themselves in professions and education and real estate in different industries. It's an ongoing thing, it's ongoing work. I have seen that firsthand in city government, and it's something that isn't going to stop. It keeps moving, and as I really respect Maria for their work at the legislature, because they are women there, and I also respect all the women who are elected officials. We have female mayors, we have female council members, and to have been the first Latina elected in Marshalltown City Council ever, that's been a real big accomplishment. But I wish that there had been somebody else to pave the way for me. And sometimes we have to be the ones in our own industries. I don't know what all passions everybody has, but then you may have to be the first one, and that's just how it is, and just keep it going. It's really what I really need. So
I have a question for Tiffany. I'm just wondering what it was that made you want to study criminal justice.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so my mother was a reserve police officer when I was growing up. So she was never out on the streets patrolling really, but kind of had a hand in it. And then, you got the true crime, right? Everybody watches the documentaries. So I swore up and down I was going to be a cop. no ifs, ands, or buts. My dad tried to talk me out of it. I said, no, I will be a cop. Not a lot of females in the law enforcement industry, business, I mean, whatever you want to call it, profession. And so I was going to pave a way, as you know, Melissa had just talked about. I was going to do something. I was going to make that change, being a woman coming in to being a cop. And then I just realized I would much rather sit and talk to somebody if I can than have to go hands-on. How can I not get physical with you and still de-escalate you? So yeah, just those big dreams, you know, you one day you see somebody doing something and you're like, that's really cool, I'd like to do that. So that's kind of what led me to think I wanted to be a cop or go into law enforcement.
Well, I'm gonna maybe start wrapping things up here. I'd like to really thank all of you for being here. Now, in the past, after we wrapped it up, some of the students and vendors came up and chatted. I assume you wouldn't mind where they come up and chat with you a little. So feel free to come up and introduce yourself, ask any more questions. Hope I'm not putting you on the spot with that, but I really want to thank everyone for being here, including all of our online people. This, as they mentioned, this is a yearly thing, and each year it just, the women that we bring have always been very exciting. Thank you. Want to add anything?
Make sure that you have signed in on your way out and grab a cookie or some pizza, because we have some leftovers.
The trio, Steve, Kathy, thank you.